Why, hello there. Welcome to the first episode, the maiden voyage of 365 honest questions about the Bible. I am your long-suffering host, Dante Stack, and if you're the type of person that likes to read along as we're going through passages in the Bible, today we're going to be looking through, kind of skimming the first 4 chapters of Genesis, then looking at Leviticus chapter 17, and finally ending thereabouts around Hebrews chapter 10. So, without further ado, here we go. In screenwriting, when you're trying to figure out how to structure your story, one of the landmark elements, one of the most important facets of your story is where to place the inciting incident. That's a technical term for when the story gets interesting, or when the story actually takes off. In Lord of the Rings, it's when Frodo actually starts taking the ring to Mordor. That's the inciting incident that takes him out of his regular world and thrust into the center of the adventure. I remember reading this particular book called Save the Cat by Blake Snyder, and he said that by minute 7 of your movie, you need to already be into the inciting incident. And I remember reading that and thinking, that is really fast. But the Bible does us one better. The inciting incident takes place really quickly. In my particular Bible, the inciting incident starts on page 3. That's page 3 of a 1,042-page book. So if we're keeping with the screenwriting lexicon, then chapter 1 of Genesis, the very start of the Bible, would be our establishing shot. You know, that's like the shot of the whole town or the skyline shot that tells us what city in the world we're in. So it's the beginning where, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and then the 6 days of creation, and then God rests. Bada bing, bada boom, moving on. Chapter 2, then, is starting to zoom in. And now, more than just this establishing world, now we have 2 characters, Adam and Eve, and we have a location, the Garden of Eden. And we even have Adam saying his first words, so he's a little more human to us, ha ha ha. And we also get this kind of cryptic allusion where God says, you can eat anything in the Garden of Eden except the tree of knowledge of good and evil, because if you do that, you shall surely die. Then, chapter 3 happens, and we get our inciting incident. I think we all know the story. Serpent comes, convinces Eve, eat the good-looking fruit, and she eats it, and Adam and Eve are condemned, and that started our world as we know it. No more wonderful talking animals, no more living forever. Now we have death, disease, animals don't like us and don't talk to us anymore. The subject I want to talk about today is not, doubting creationism or even talking about how a snake could talk without a larynx or any of that fun stuff. Maybe we'll talk about those on a later podcast, but today I want to focus in on the idea of sacrifice, because that really is one of, if not the central theme and plot device in the Bible. Depending on your perspective, sacrifice either takes place in Genesis chapter 3, or if not then, for sure in chapter 4. So if you're one to think that it starts in chapter 3, the context for that is Adam and Eve have just sinned for the first time. They're cast out of the Garden of Eden. And chapter 3, verse 21 reads, "And the Lord God made for Adam and for his wife garments of skins and clothed them." A lot of interpreters believe this to be the first sacrifice. God killed some of the animals roaming around and made clothing for Adam and Eve. Alright, so we're going to dig into the story right there. The end of chapter 3, beginning chapter 4. I'm going to read the first few verses here. Familiar story, but so we have direct information from the text. Here it goes. Chapter 4, verse 1. Now Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have gotten a man with the help of the Lord. And again she bore his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a worker of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground, and Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his face fell. The Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry, and why has your face fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is for you, but you must rule over it. Cain spoke to his brother Abel. And when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel your brother?" He said, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" And the Lord said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it shall no longer yield to you its strength. You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth." Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me today away from the ground, and from your face I shall be hidden. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." Then the Lord said to him, "Not so! If anyone kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold." And the Lord put a mark on Cain, lest any who found him should attack him. Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Oh, East of Eden. One of my favorite books ever. You should go read that right now to catch up and have context for this. East of Eden by John Steinbeck. Good.